What is going on, everybody? Welcome to your 8th iPhone development tutorial. And you know how I said like in the last tutorial that we're done coding for now? Well, I actually lied. I forgot one little semicolon in my interface right after password. So go ahead and add that, because if you don't, you're going to get an error. So once you're done adding your semicolon, I know it was a lot of code, you can take a break now. Go ahead up to your build and go ahead and select build, and this is pretty much going to build your files, check for errors, and also save them for you. So now once you build them, hopefully you don't got any errors, and yeah, looks like we're good to go. So now the next step in this process is to open the interface builder and add all those objects on the screen, since we now built the outlets. So go ahead and expand your resources folder and go click whatever your project name is, viewcontroller.xib, and this of course is going to open your nib file. And now let me just go ahead and rearrange everything real quick. Move this up a little bit, just a little bit. And yeah, looks like we're good to go. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and add that image on the screen. And in order to do this, make sure you have your library open and go down and click this little button right here. This is the image view, allows you to add images, pretty easy. So go ahead and drag this on your screen, and as you can see, it automatically expands. What we want to do is just go ahead and shrink that to the approximate size of our image. The actual size doesn't really matter, so that's approximately where it's going to go, and I'll show you guys why I don't have to do it exact in a little bit. But now with this still selected, what we want to do is in the image attributes, aka the inspector, go over to this drop down for image, and this is what image do you want to use. Well, it's going to give you all of your resources images that you have. Since we only have one, pretty self-explanatory, buckypic.ping, that's my main banner. So now you can see that we loaded that picture, but it doesn't exactly fit in. It may be cutting off, or the box may be too big. In order to get this image view to exactly fit the exact same size as your picture, what you need to do with this image view still selected is go up to layout and size to fit. That way your image view automatically scales to the size of your picture. Check this out. Pretty sweet, huh? So the only other thing we want to select in here is one more drawing option. I mean, all of these are pretty self-explanatory. I don't want to take the time to go through them all because we got stuff to do. But make sure under drawing you click opaque. Now what this means is pretty much not transparent at all. It's just pretty much whenever you click opaque, it means it's not transparent, and it helps speed up the drawing whenever you're running your application. So aside from this awesome picture right here, remember we have two labels on the left and two empty text boxes on the right. So what we can do is we can go ahead and add our text fields, and you do that by clicking text field, dragging it over, and go ahead and add one right there. And remember, we added one for name, one for password. And now let's go ahead and add those labels. Add the label, double click it, put name, and also add another label called password for our super secret login box. Now what you usually want to do is, expand that. That looks pretty good. And go ahead and expand that so that fits as well. So aside from adding these labels, these text boxes, we actually want to mess with the attributes a little bit. So go ahead and select your top text field, and now scroll over to your text field attributes, your inspector. So the first thing we want to do is, remember, by default we had some text that popped up in the text field, and this is pretty much the default text. And over in your text field attributes, this was the text in the placeholder. So go ahead and add a little prompt in placeholder, be like type username. So aside from giving them one prompt, what we want to do is whenever they click in here, the keyboard is going to pop up automatically. And by default, the keyboard is going to have a button that says return on it. Well, we want to change that to done. So under your text input traits keyboard, go ahead and check. Oh, wait a minute. Text input traits return key. That's what I'm clicking. Go ahead and click done. Make sure don't click emergency call, or really, really bad things are going to happen when you try to run this. So go ahead and click done under your return key, and that changes the return key on your keyboard to a done button. So that's all we need to do for this field. So aside from that, what we need to do is select this password text field. And remember, this one was a little bit different. For the placeholder, go ahead and type in enter password because that's what you want them to do. And aside from this, under the keyboard type, by default it has a bunch of numbers and letters on it. But I mean, this is our secret bank code. We only want to be able to enter numbers, so go ahead and give them a number pad only. This will give them a keyboard with no letters on it, only numbers. And also, we don't need a return key because this number pad doesn't even have a return key. But what we do need to check is secure. This secure is whenever you type in a number, it's going to give you that little circle instead of showing the number, because we don't want our friends to see our super secret password. So that's all we have to do as far as putting the objects on the screen. Now from here, what we need to do is add the outlets to each corresponding object. So again, if you forgot how to do this, in your files owner, go ahead and control and drag, and once you're highlighted over the corresponding object, release, and the outlet for this one is name. And then whenever we use name in our coding, it references this object. Now go ahead and control and drag to password and let go and choose that outlet password, and now whenever we use the password variable in our code, it references this object. References. So anyways, go ahead and save your nib file, and now in our Xcode we can go ahead and build this, run it, and see what we get. So go ahead, and if you go ahead and click username, type in your username. Mine is Bucky. And now go ahead and password and see, here's the default placeholder, enter password. And don't look at my password. 1 2 3 4 5. I'll never guess that. So now we are done. That's what you need to do. But check this out. Alright, I'm done. Enter my username, my password. So how do I actually get out of this? Maybe click done. No, the keyboard isn't popping down, so what the heck? How the heck do I get out of here? Well, actually, in order to make the keyboard pop back down, what we need to do is we need to edit a little bit more of code. So that's what I'm going to be showing you in the next tutorial. I mean, we already basically built 90% of our tutorial. Just need to be editing a little bit more of code to make things a little bit smoother. So that's that for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're going to be making it awesome. I mean, we made it good, but we need to make it great. So that's what you have to look forward to. And yeah, if you have any questions, guys, feel free to click on the link below in my forum and ask me any question you want, and I will feel free to answer it for you guys. So also get the code there. So anyways, enough of me rambling. Check out my next tutorial, and don't forget to subscribe.